Katie's going to get into the opening shot. So howdy, everybody. Katie is here with me. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much. We made it through another. Well, it wasn't. It was an amazing week. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris got sworn in as president and vice president. Katie gave an approving shake. Something a lot of us were beginning to think was not going to happen. So we're real happy about that. She just messed up my set list. There's just so much more that's, I think, going to come out about what actually happened on January 6th. I think we'll be finding out for years what actually happened. But I'm not going to talk too much about that. Everything's beautiful here in California. We got some rain here yesterday, last night, and today. Kind of a big deal in California is sometimes doesn't rain very much or very often. And it's cold for California. It's about 50 degrees. We have our heat, or the heater was on earlier. Generally, we don't turn our heater on during the day. We don't seem to need to, so even when it's cold in the wintertime. But this kind of weather, we have the heater on a little bit. And the other big news is I have a new video that I've got a couple of rough cuts of so far from my friend Ron Resnick. We went out to the Salton Sea a week or two ago and shot footage for the song Big Rain's Comin' Mama. The video looks amazing. It's just, I really can't wait to put it out, to send it out. I'm still figuring a few things out about that, but the video itself is nearly finished. I'm excited about that. And I got confirmation today from this week from Appaloosa Records in Italy, just outside of Milan, that they'll be releasing the album. And expect it to be on the same. I've been promoting the album in Ireland, the UK, and Europe. And the release date for the promotion there is February 12th. And that'll be the release date for the Appaloosa Records version of this, my new latest album, Love and Desperation. So it will be available in Italy. And I think also in Sweden. And all across Europe, of course, it's available through Burnside Distributions. For download and some retail, and now a little more through Appaloosa Records. So, Katie, you got to get out of here. I got to play some songs. So, I'll catch up with you a little bit later. So I'm going to start with a song called Shelter Valley Blues, which was the title track of an album I put out in 2009. I believe it was, and Shelter Valley is a place in eastern San Diego County, about midway between the mountain town of Julian and the desert monument, the town of Borrego Springs, Anza Borrego. If you start in Julian and you start heading down the Banner Grade, about midway down you get to the Scissor Crossing, which is just a little jog in the road, and that's Highway S2. And if you go to the right, turn south, in just a few miles, you'll start to see signs for Shelter Valley. And that Highway S2 connects to, that's part, and the highways that it connects to are part of the what was the Great Southern Stagecoach Road that ran from the gold fields in California to the trading post in Santa Fe, New Mexico. But Shelter Valley is a beautiful place. It's a little remote, desolate somewhat. Beautiful desert area, though, fairly high elevation. And my brother has been living there for a number of years now, maybe 15, maybe 20 years. And I went down there to visit him, and I came back and I wrote this song. This song is not really about my brother, but it's about a guy a lot like my brother, I guess. So this is called Shelter Valley Blues. Well, I've seen storms that roll across this lonesome valley. Thunder rattle right down to my floor. I laid awake and heard the howling of the coyotes out prowling in the dust and devils right outside my door. Well, they say this ain't no place for fools or dreamers, but a foolish dream is all I've ever known. I came looking here for shelter from the sun and sand and swelter, and the trouble that still haunts me to my bones. Well, I walked into the fire, slightly stoned and slightly wired, tried to lose myself in mescaline and booze. Now I've got no recollection of my death or resurrection, but I damn sure got these Shelter Valley Blues. Yeah, I damn sure got these Shelter Valley Blues. Well, I've seen them come for sinning for salvation, like pilgrims stumble through a field of stone. Pretty soon you see him fall, pretty soon you see him crawl, pretty soon you see him leaving here alone. She always said someday she'd try to find me. She said no matter what that she'd be true. But I've forgotten all those lies, the truth was written in her eyes, and anyway I've got no more that I can lose. Well, I walked into the fire, slightly stoned and slightly wired, tried to lose myself in mescaline and booze. Now I've got no recollection of my death or resurrection, but I damn sure got these Shelter Valley Blues. Well, I walked into the fire, slightly stoned and slightly wired, tried to lose myself in mescaline and booze. Now I've got no recollection of my death or resurrection, but I damn sure got these Shelter Valley Blues. Yeah, I damn sure got these Shelter Valley Blues. Thank you, baby, and thank you all. I kind of fumbled up that little guitar lick in the middle, so I did it extra good at the end there, just to make up for it. So,
I think I found your artist page. I'm sorry.
You don't think you found it?
I got all the other pages except for the artist page. I couldn't find it. I was losing.
Did you go to share to page?
I went to share.
No, you go share and then share to page. We're getting this kind of shared to a couple of other pages, and it's a little confusing. So I'm playing this guitar that I built, my Martin, my regular Martin that I've been playing for all of these shows. Do you see it there?
No, I don't. I'm really sorry. Do you want it?
No,
I
no.
just can't. I mean, if I do it, I'm going to get out of everything.
No, don't do it, I guess. So, Facebook is a very confusing thing, you may have noticed. So things will look one way one time and another way entirely different the next time. But I built this guitar about 10 years ago and kind of played it a lot at the time and then kind of put it away and was playing the other guitars that I have. I have a couple of Martins, and I'm glad I've pulled this one back out again. I've been enjoying playing it. But the other thing that I was going to kind of announce is that so this week and next week will be January, and then the first show in February. But after that, starting in February, I think I'm going to start to do the first and the third Saturdays instead of every Saturday as I have been since last March. But the other thing is, starting in March, on the first Saturday, I'll do those shows from the Fret House here in Covina. I did one in November, and the plan then was to continue and do the first Saturday of each month live, from the Fret House, from the stage there, concert room downstairs, wonderful room. But then the pandemic numbers got out of control. And the numbers have just started to come down here in California in the last couple of weeks. They've kind of leveled off and they've come down quite a bit. So this thing is still very, very serious. Anyhow, starting in March, the first Saturday will be at the Fret House, which will be nice. And then the third Saturday will be from here, from Casa de Calora. And thank you, baby, for struggling with that. Sorry that it got to be a... Oh, you don't have to apologize. Yeah, no worries. But I'm going to do a song that's on the new album. This is a song called Blues at Midnight, another blues. Blues at midnight, blues at dawn. The blues have been with me ever since you've been gone. I can't seem to shake them, they just keep hanging on. Blues at midnight ever since you've been gone. I can't stop from crying, I can't get no sleep. I can't lose these memories now, they're just mine to keep. A train in the distance with a long lonesome moan reminds me my baby left me here all alone. I toss and turn and I walk the floor. I can't believe you won't come home anymore. The night winds whisper a sad, lonesome song. Blues at midnight ever since you've been gone. Blues at midnight ever since you've been gone. I toss and turn, and I walk the floor. I can't believe you won't come home anymore. The night winds whisper a sad, lonesome song. Blues at midnight ever since you've been gone. Blues at midnight ever since you've been gone. Blues at midnight, blues at dawn. The blues have been with me ever since you've been gone. I can't seem to shake them, they just keep hanging on. Blues at midnight ever since you've been gone. Blues at midnight ever since you've been gone. Thank you, baby. So I picture that as kind of one of those torch ballads that Patsy Cline was so wonderful at. Walking After Midnight and songs like that. And always reminds me of my friend Lawton Giles, who passed away last year. Lawton had gotten on quite a bit, so that was not unexpected. But I was very sad that we weren't able to attend his memorial because of this whole pandemic. So that's one of the very real heartbreaks of this last year. So I'm going to do the title track to the new album. This is a song called Love and Desperation. And if my life was a folk song lyric, this might be kind of what it sounded like. Yeah, well, someone robbed the northern Maine and flew off south in a driving rain. You think they might not know your name, but they know your reputation. Yeah, well, a dark-skinned gal is good to me, sweet and kind as she can be. She knows things that I can't see, but she tells no tales or stories. Yeah, my brother walks a lonesome road, tired as a heavy load. Believes the things that he's been told, but he holds no expectations. Yeah, well, Nashville is a rugged town, picks you up and knocks you down, leaves you in the lost and found without a word or warning. Yeah, well, the devil plays a crooked game. The odds are long and dead as aim. You know you'll play him just the same, 'cause you can't resist temptation. Yeah, my mother was a wild thing. She loved to dance, she loved to sing. She left one day in early spring 'cause her children were a burden. Yeah, my father was a solemn man, a steady voice, a steady hand, but there were things he did not understand about love and desperation. Yeah, well, someone robbed the northern Maine and flew off south in a driving rain. You think they might not know your name, but they know your reputation. Yeah, you think they might not know your name, yeah, but they know your reputation. Thank you, baby. So, I'll go back to the Shelter Valley album now, from 2009. Shelter Valley is the first album that I recorded entirely here at my own home studio. I mean, not entirely. None of them have been, because I record drums somewhere else. I don't try to record the drums here. I know too many. I know several good drummers, or a handful of really wonderful drummers that are good friends of mine that have studios already set up. So, I mean, you know, I can just go there, track the drums, bring them here, and that's what I do. And then I spend a lot of time out there in the garage, my little workshop, work studio out there, and play all the parts, sing all the parts that I need to do, invite some of the other fellows over, Dave Hall and some of the other guys that have played bass. This last album, of course, I ended up sending out so much of this as files to other guys to record at home because we could not get together. I was lucky and had most of the drum parts recorded by March, when everything kind of shut down. But anyhow, I'm getting off on another tangent. This is a song called Steady Driving Man, and I've always been in love with both Jimmie Rodgers and Doc Watson, and Doc Watson's versions of Jimmie Rodgers songs are some of my favorites, with the guitar playing and the singing. So I wrote this song kind of in tribute to that. This is called Steady Driving Man. Where there's cornbread in the kitchen and peaches hanging in the tree. Yeah, there's cornbread in the kitchen and peaches hanging in the tree. Yeah, but your sweet jelly roll needs some honey from his sugar babe. Yo-dee-da-lo-da-lo-dee, yo-da-lo-da-lo-da-lee. Well, I'm up all night, you know I do the best I can. I'm up all night, you know I do the best that I can. Oh, crazy little mama, to try to make you understand that I'm your ding-dong daddy, your sweet jelly roll, and you're a steady driving man. Yo-dee-da-lo-da-lo-dee, yo-da-lo-da-lo-da-lee, yo-da-lee-dee. I might be a little rusty, I might be a little hard to steer. I might be a little rusty, I might be a little hard to steer. Katie's sitting on my foot, but I will purr just like a kitten, honey, when you shift my gears. Well, I'm up all night, you know I do the best I can. I'm up all night, you know I do the best that I can. Oh, crazy little mama, to try to make you understand that I'm your ding-dong daddy, your sweet jelly roll, and your steady driving man. I am your ding-dong daddy, your sweet jelly roll, and your steady driving man. Yo-dee-lo-lo-dee, yo-da-lo-da-lo-da-dee, yo-da-dee-dee. Katie's got something in her mouth. What she have there?
String.
She had a piece of string. Katie's really bad about eating things that she shouldn't eat sometimes. We get.
Blanket around.
Oh yeah, she got it from the blanket. But she can't have tennis balls, or at least not for very long. Now she's mad because Susie took it out of her mouth. But she will eat the tennis balls. I'm the one that picks up after her, and I have photographic evidence of the tennis balls going all the way through, luckily, through the whole system. So we got to be careful what kind of toys she has. They can't be, if she'll tear them apart and she'll eat them. So they can't be anything that she could tear apart and eat. That's what she was sitting on my foot for, is she was trying to get me to take it out of her mouth.
Yeah.
But I'm a little busy, you know, I'm sorry. So when Susie and I both grew up out in San Bernardino. We didn't know each other when we were growing. Well, we did actually. Well, kind of yes, kind of no. We went to some of the same schools, and she knew my younger brother Patrick, that passed away at a young age. Very sad story. But anyhow, when I was young and growing up and trying to figure out how to do this sort of thing, play music, there was a couple there that lived in San Bernardino, a fellow by the name of Jim Ringer and his partner Mary McCaslin, and there was a little folk music, acoustic music club called the Penny University. Wonderful little place, and that's where I kind of got my feet wet, started figuring out how to do this, at least as far as with an acoustic guitar and sing some songs. They had an open mic night, a hoot night or whatever they called it, and I played there as often as I could. And they did hire me to play the regular weekend shows one or maybe two times. But Jim Ringer and Mary McCaslin, of course, had albums out. They toured all over the country. And they had their songs played on the folk music radio station there in San Bernardino at KVCR and all over, I'm sure. But Jim and Mary were fairly popular, and even in a short period of time as a duo, as singing. They sang just beautifully together. The Bramble and the Rose is the one album they made together under their own names, and it's just an amazing and wonderful album. But of course they played the weekend shows, and I never got to know Jim, but I did get to know Mary, and even played songs with her and toured some. We sang the songs that she had done with Jim, but a couple of years even before that, I recorded an album with my friend Brantley Kearns in about 1999 or 2000. I can't remember. Maybe that was 2001. I should write that down. But wonderful album called Trouble in Me, and I recorded a couple of songs, one of Jim's and one of Mary's, and I'm going to do them now. The first one is a song by Jim Ringer called Rachel, and these songs are in the same key. I kind of go in, kind of do them sort of together, I guess. And then I go into Mary's song, the San Bernardino Waltz. Beautiful song. So this is Jim Ringer and Mary McCaslin. Rachel was a girl I used to love when I was young. You should have heard the love songs that I sung. You should have heard the way we talked walking by the stream, barefoot through the meadow by the lazy San Joaquin. Rachel was a melody that I first learned to sing. And the sorceress just barely in her teens. A skinny dip inside to see with freckles everywhere. And a plain and faded hand-me-down with wildflowers in her head. She had a way of saying this was never gonna end. Good night like a lover, good morning like a friend. Rachel was a watermelon ripe and freshly stole. The first girl that I ever loved, the first lie that I told. Rachel laughed and Rachel sang and Rachel held my hand. Rachel watched me grow into a man. Rachel sat and listened to me when I told a lie. Rachel waved me out of sight when I said goodbye. The San Joaquin still rolls along where me and Rachel stroll. But the meadows turned to parking lots and me and Rachel's old. Rachel's just a memory that I'd still like to hold. The first girl that I ever loved, the first lie that I told. The first girl that I ever loved, the first lie that I told. I came to this hot, dusty town to be with the lover I found. The people were all standing around for the San Bernardino waltz. She didn't like the love that I made. She had some ideas for my age. Partners for the big promenade and the San Bernardino waltz. I tried doing the best that I can to be seen as the most wanted man. I'm not ready to change partners again for the San Bernardino waltz. I feel like an outlaw in town, the way my name keeps going round. My ears have grown tired of the sound of the San Bernardino waltz. So farewell to the gray, hazy skies that hide all the mountains so high. Farewell to them all standing by and the San Bernardino waltz, the San Bernardino waltz. Thank you, baby. Thank you, everybody. So that's Jim Ringer's song Rachel about his first love and growing up in the San Joaquin Valley, and Mary McCaslin's song The San Bernardino Waltz. Heartbreaking and beautiful song to me. What you going to say, baby?
Gladys says that Trouble in Me came out in 2002.
Thank you, Gladys. Gladys told me that, or just posted that Trouble and Me came out in 2002. And that does make more sense than 2001. So thank you for that, Gladys. And Gladys is in Oslo, Norway, and listening. So I think she deserves some applause. She certainly gets the Late Night Award or the Travel Award. Thank you for tuning in, Gladys. Gladys is part of the Train Tribe and been on many, many train trips. And she and I had met before that, and she told me when and where, and now I've forgotten. I think it was probably Austin, Texas, at South by Southwest. I know that Gladys goes to she goes to Austin regularly, so for music. But thank you again for that, Gladys. And as I started to say, yeah, I got to know Mary. I never knew Jim. He had passed away before. Oh, and I wanted to send those two songs also out to my friend Kim Ringer, Jim's daughter, who I think is listening up in Fresno area where they all grew up. Kim sent me a lyric to a beautiful song that I included on the new album, on Love and Desperation. Let me hold it up again. Susie says I move it around too much and don't get a good clear picture up there. So, love you, Kim. I hope you're doing well. But I'm going to do a song that I did get to know Mary after this, after the album with Brantley came out, and I got to know Mary. She and Greg, her husband, were living in Santa Cruz area. And we, over the next few years, we did a few things sort of informally together. And then we did some real sort of shows together. And then we talked about getting together and doing the songs that she and Jim had sang, some of those, and doing some shows together like that. And we did that for about 3 or 4 years around in California, Southern California, Northern California. Even went back east for a number of shows. So that was just a wonderful and amazing experience for me. Mary, I just felt like I had so much in common with Mary on a musical level. Just kind of the whole focus of where she and Jim had come from musically. It was, of course, folk music, but they brought a lot of country music. They've always brought a lot of, she sang Marty Robbins songs and everything you could imagine. So she had a pretty wide view, a pretty broad view of what folk music was. And that's the way I feel about it. So. But I learned a lot about singing from her also, and harmony singing and duet singing. But this is one of the songs that we used to do together. That's a song that she and Jim had done, of course, as I said, and it's an old Roy Acuff song. You're in and out. What is going on with you? Are you eating more stuff again that you shouldn't be eating? It's called Streamline Cannonball, and it was a song that was pretty well known by Roy Acuff and some other people, but I always felt like this was one of those songs that probably existed before Roy Acuff got his hands on it, and you really need a lot of attention right now, and turned it into the song that he did. She's okay. In those days, the Carter family, that's where all of the songs for the Carter family were songs that existed in the folk music community, or that's not even the best way to describe it. A.P. Carter went around and collected songs. The story's fairly well known. He drove around the countryside and just would talk to people and find out basically who had songs, and they were handed down. It was an oral tradition, and they were handed down from one generation to the next. And one person playing it would maybe even add something to it, add a verse that was personal to their life experience. It was an evolving sort of it was not songwriting as we know it today, with the song being set in stone as far as who the writers and the publishers are. So I kind of always had a feeling that this song was kind of a little more from that tradition. This is called Streamline Cannonball. She moves along like a cannonball, like a star in its heavenly flight. That lonesome sound of the whistle I love as she travels through the night. A long steel rail and a short cross tie, I'm on my way back home. I'm on that train, the queen of them all, the streamline cannonball. She moves along like a cannonball, like a star in its heavenly flight. That lonesome sound of the whistle I love as she travels through the night. I can see the smile on the engineer's face, although he's old and gray. With a contented heart, he waits for his call on the streamline cannonball. She moves along like a cannonball, like a star in its heavenly flight. And that lonesome sound of the whistle I love as she travels through the night. The headlight gleams on through the night, and the firebox flash I did see. But I ride the blinds, it's a life that I love, and it's home, sweet home to me. She moves along like a cannonball, like a star in its heavenly flight. And that lonesome sound of the whistle I love as she travels through the night. She moves along like a cannonball, like a star in its heavenly flight. And that lonesome sound of the whistle I love as it travels through the night. Two. Thank you, baby. So that song is on an album called Sweet Bernadine. I'm going to do a couple songs now that are from that album. As I said, I sang that song with Mary McCaslin, and when I was putting out the album Sweet Bernadine that came out in Gladys, I May Need Your Help Again, but I think it was 2013, if I remember right. I had a live recording from Folk Scene, the wonderful, just long, iconic sort of folk music program, the Larmans. Howard and Roz Larman's program that now their son Alan Larman and his wonderful wife Kat have taken over since Howard and Roz are gone. But very, very long running. Just an amazing everyone you could ever imagine in folk music and beyond that has been on Folk Scene. An amazing archive. But anyhow, Mary and I did that show while during that time, and had a very nice recording of that song. From that program, so I included it on the album Sweet Bernadine. And I also included this song. And Mary is a sort of a guarded sort of a person. She's a little private, not exceptionally or anything, but during the time that I was hanging out, we got very close. I love Mary, and I consider her a very, very close friend. And she shared some of the story of her time with Jim, but not a lot. She's just not that sort of person. But from what I could tell and what I already knew, I wrote this song, and it's called The Angel Mary and the Rounder Jim, and it's kind of about their story. And or it's a folk song that sort of is inspired, I guess, by their story, would be the way to put it. Deep in the summer, before the fall, a place called Sweet's Mill, as I recall. Days of music, of wine and song, a peaceful place where we all belong. She sang the high notes with a voice so pure, and he was full of old songs, strong and sure. It just seemed to happen like it had always been when the angel Mary met the rounder Jim. Two voices singing, two hearts entwined, songs that grew from the true vine. They rode the hard road, both end to end, the angel Mary and the rounder Jim. Well, he'd been a farm boy, and he'd worked the fields, and her past held secrets not yet revealed. With a borrowed guitar and a borrowed car and a borrowed suitcase just to see how far. Fortune smiled, the songs rang true, and they traveled far, and their legend grew. But trouble came on a devil wind and caught the angel Mary and the rounder Jim. Two voices singing, two hearts entwined, songs that grew from the true vine. They rode the hard road, both end to end, the angel Mary and the rounder Jim. The seasons come, and the seasons fade, and the ones we love seem to drift away, but the good songs stay deep within, like the angel Mary and the rounder Jim. Deep in the summer, before the fall, a place called Sweet's Mill, as I recall. So that song's for Jim Ringer and Mary McCaslin, the Angel Mary and the Rounder Jim. It's kind of my version of the story, I guess, from what I know of it. Sort of being a little bit on the inside, but not too much, I guess. I know as much as I think I would want to know. I think, you know, with the artists that I know, most of what I want to know I'm going to hear in the song. So, but that song name checks or mentions, I guess I should say, Sweet's Mill, which is a very long-running folk festival, if you can call it that, or a folk music camp or get-together. It goes back to the 1950s, the late 1950s, if I have my information correct. Held up there in the mountains, the foothills above Fresno area. And according to Mary and what I've read, that's where she and Jim met, was up there at Sweet's Mill. And Sweet's Mill is a kind of an amazing little get-together. Not that many people know about it. I hope I'm not sharing too much, but I think you have to be invited just even to be a guest there. It's sort of a little private get-together. So I'm going to do a song that all of this kind of revolves around San Bernardino, where I said I grew up. Susie and I grew up, and we both have, well, Susie's family. A lot of Susie's family is still in that area. Her mom is still in the Muskogee area, which is where Jim and Mary lived, which is kind of, I think that's unincorporated, but not that that means anything. We're in an unincorporated here of LA County, or of the city of Covina, and I just think it just means who gets your tax money and who's the police the sheriffs that respond to your if you have to make a call, I guess. But anyhow, I wrote this song. This is the title track of an album I put out and again, I'm going to be kind of guessing here, I think in 2013, called Sweet Bernardine. This is the title track, and it's a song called Sweet Bernardine. And I wrote it about just kind of growing up in San Bernardino. And if you know anything about San Bernardino, you know that for the last 20, 30, 40 years, most of the time it's been in the news for all the wrong reasons. And for all of us that have family and ties to that area, of course, it's heartbreaking. So the song is bittersweet, but growing up there, it was quite a beautiful place. That valley is really just, when the weather is right, like tomorrow, I think will be a day to see it if the clouds kind of break up a little bit. The mountains will be covered by snow. This storm, the snow comes down. I saw it the little bit that I was outside today, down as low as 2,000 feet, 1,500 feet. So even the foothills will have snow. It will just be a stunningly beautiful place. The mountains there are just, they're taller for the most part. Well, anyhow, you just feel, I feel like I can see them much closer than I can where we're close to the mountains here, the San Gabriel Mountains. But anyhow, it was a beautiful place. Citrus groves in the springtime blossoming. So I wrote this song. Sweet Bernardine is a reference to the patron saint, Saint Bernardine, who, from all reports, was kind of a hapless fellow, and nobody is quite sure how he became a saint, but he's ours, and we love him. This is Sweet Bernardine. sun beats down on an old dirt track. Broke down wagon never did turn back. Down through the mountains and the rocks and the weeds, down to the river and the cottonwood trees. Oh, sweet Bernadine. Oh, sweet Bernadine. When times were good, they never did last long. For Johnny and Juanita seemed to all go wrong. You try to make a living, try to stay ahead, try to do what you can to keep the little ones fed. Oh, sweet Bernadine. Oh, sweet Bernadine. I was just 18 when I first left home. I drifted and I rambled just to try to stay gone. But the more I run, the more I see how this tired old town is still a part of me. Oh, sweet Bernadine. Oh, sweet Bernadine. And now the sun's come up and the heat's come down. It's hard luck living in a hard luck town. 'Cause everywhere you go, people shake their heads. It's hard not to think that you'd be better off dead. Oh, sweet Bernadine. Oh, sweet Bernadine. Oh, sweet Bernadine. Oh, sweet Bernadine. Thank you, baby, and thank you all. My friend Ron Resnick and I made a video of that song, Sweet Bernadine. You can find it easily on my website or YouTube page, but it's quite all of videos I've made with Ron and with Will Seifert. I've been very, very blessed with a couple of very talented fellows who have helped me make some wonderful videos. So thank you, both you guys, very much. But Ron and I made a video of this song, Sweet Bernadine, and there's glimpses. We drove around, and Ron's an interesting guy to make videos with. Some of the time I had my old van at the time, and he was busy talking about politics and Big Mama Thornton and whatever crossed his mind, and had the camera going, I guess, because he picked up all of this footage as we were going by houses that we had lived in there. We went up and caught a good shot of the arrowhead, the big arrowhead that points down to Arrowhead Springs, and the Native American statue that's up there. We caught a little shot of Susie's mom in her kitchen there. Jenny makes a quick little cameo. We did a quick shot of me walking past Mary and Jim's house. I think we were able to find that. And then we ended up in the Cajon Pass, and the video wraps up with me up there near Mormon Rocks, which wonderful footage, great footage. And but then Ron got caught up with all of the trains up there, and there's a lot of train footage that kind of wraps up the whole end. To Ron, it's not a real video if there isn't a train in it. And I have a hard time kind of disagreeing with that. It kind of really does make it kind of cool. But so there's some great train footage. Because at one time, San Bernardino was more or less, for the most part, I think, a train town. The Santa Fe yards there were where all of the trains from back east, from Phoenix, Tucson, Arizona area, and then coming down through the pass, would all stop at the yards there, and the trains, cars would be moved around so that they would be shuttled all around the Southern California area to where they were going, whatever they had on them. So anyhow, check out that video if you get a minute, and I'm going to do another song here that also has a bit of history. In Southern California, the song comes from an old legend at the mission in San Juan Capistrano. It's about a young girl named Magdalena that fell in love with a young boy that she was not permitted to see. And when they were discovered, as of course they were, as part of her penance, Magdalena was required to carry a candle in front of the congregation, sort of public humiliation. And the legend says, the story says that Magdalena and the congregation were buried in the chapel by the earthquake that destroyed the mission, that destroyed the chapel. It's still being rebuilt to this day. I think the earthquake was in the 1840s. I could be wrong about that date, but Magdalena is also the biblical. It's the Spanish name for Mary Magdalene or Magdalene. So it's that whole fallen woman sort of, stigma, I guess might be a word for it, is on the poor young girl through no fault of her own. Just strange patriarchal traditions that have been handed down for hundreds and hundreds of years. So that is a big element of the song also, just her name, Magdalena. So this is called Magdalena. Out in the garden at midnight, where the smell of a rose fills the air, Magdalena, she hides in the shadows. Her desire is almost too much to bear. All alone she waits in the garden for the one she's forbidden to see. And as his arms reach out to embrace her, she knows the trouble it surely will be. Oh, Magdalena, the saints they're calling for the black mark that follows your name. Cry for the night and cry for your lover and the heartache your life became. Oh, tú eres mi cariño, yo sé que no me olvidarás. Tú eres mi vida, tú eres mi todo, y eres mi corazón. sun rose outside of the garden, there came the long mournful cry of a dove. Sad and alone, a lonely heart breaking, wishing only to die for its love. Now all eyes are on Magdalena as she slowly walks holding a flame. And as the ground starts to tremble and the walls start to crumble, through the crack she calls out his name. Oh Magdalena, the saints they are falling, your tears have all been in vain. Lost in the dust under the stones of the chapel, Magdalena will always remain. Oh, tu eres mi cariño, yo sé que no me olvidarás. Tu eres mi vida, tú eres mi todo, y eres mi corazón. Tú eres mi vida, tú eres mi todo, y eres mi corazón. Hand it to me, baby. Thank you. I can't lean over that far. Susie has given me a list of... Thank you all very much for that. Got a list of names here of some people that have tuned in here today. And I thank you all very much for tuning in. And anybody that I don't mention, please, my apologies. And thank you all for tuning in. So we've had a lot of people that have just come back to this show week after week. Both of my sons and their families, Liam, Jesse, Nikki, and our grandson Liam are listening out in Rancho Cucamonga. Liam was over here yesterday for a little while, and we were playing a little the video, the rough cut that Ron had sent me to kind of look at for Big Rain's Coming, Mama. And he kind of likes that song, so we played it about 4 or 5 or 6 times. He kind of wanted to keep hearing it. But he was having kind of a tough time getting it through his head. He'd look and seeing me in the video, and then he'd see me sitting on the couch, and then he'd look at me in the video. So it was a little sort of come to Jesus moment there, I guess, with the whole video thing for Liam. So, and Matt and Amber, who are close by here, love you both. They're up here in Azusa listening. My oldest son, Matt, and his girlfriend Amber. I love you both. Martha in Saxton's River, Vermont. Love you, Martha. Has been tuning in every week. Thank you very, very much. It's probably cold up there. It's a little cold here, if it makes you feel any better. Probably nowhere near Vermont weather, but the big news was from the inauguration was Bernie Sanders, Senator from Vermont, Bernie Sanders, in a way he kind of just strolled into the inauguration with just his, barn coat. He didn't, it was all about the coats, especially if you looked at the women through the whole inauguration, They all had gotten out and bought the latest designer fashion coats. And Bernie Sanders, the senator from Vermont, just kind of strolls in his barn coat. Looks like he's been out, stacking wood or something, with a big, crazy-looking pair of mittens on, and sat down in his chair. You're all probably seen the memes have been everywhere. So Bernie Sanders. So Randall and Mona here in South Pasadena. Thank you very much. Been long time supporters and friends. Come to many shows here in Southern California. Bill Kuhn up there in the part of the Train Tribe up there in Seattle. Thank you very much, Bill. Shelly Fetterman up there in the Fresno area, Jim Ringer's area. If she's there, Shelly gets around quite a bit. She's got a ranch somewhere. So Shelly also has been to Sweets Mill, I believe. Cheryl Gaffney in San Bernardino, around the corner from where Susie and I lived on Windsor Drive. So Cheryl, thank you very much. Gary, my friend Gary Elfring, Gary Goldmine, who's in Chicago area, but I think he said you're somewhere else this weekend. Thank you for tuning in. Kathy and Jeff Curving, thank you so much. Have come to so many shows, big music supporters here in Southern California, I think in the La Habra area. John Wilhelm, thank you very much for tuning in. Glenn Meir, thank you very much. Brian Thomas, thank you. Oh, in Culver City. Brian out there in Culver City. So thank you very much for tuning in, Brian. Janie Ty Griffin. We go back sort of to high school or just shortly after that, I guess. Out there in San Bernardino. My sister Cindy up there in Reno Sparks, Nevada, where it is cold. From what she left me a message, I think it's going to be 5 degrees or minus 5 degrees tonight. So that's getting pretty dang cold. The great John Langford in Chicago, thank you for tuning in, John. And as I said, my friend Kim Ringer, who contributed a song, a lyric for the new album. I love you, Kim. I hope you're doing good. Tim Lambden, adventurer up there in Reno. Tim got sick. Tim, you got the virus, so I hope you're doing good. From Facebook, it looks like you were doing good. It looked like you were out hiking again. So Tim does some rugged hikes up in the Sierra Nevada. My friend Gladys in Oslo, thank you so much for tuning in. Sometimes she'll make the first part of the show, and then she'll she'll get up in the morning and catch the rest of it. So Gladys may have bailed on us already, and understandably, but if you're still there, thank you, Gladys. Laurel Arnseth, I think you're part of the Train Tribe, Laurel, and I'm glad you're tuning in. Steve and Jeannie, who we know going so far back down there in San Pedro, long time friends and music supporters of all these shows that, we used to play around here. Terry and Dan Fry in Oceanside area. Terry and I know each other going back to junior high school. I'm so glad you're tuning in down there. My sister Joy in Rialto, and Susie's mom, Jenny, who also is known by Guggum, and I've told that story many times. I won't tell it again, but is the oldest grandchild, trying to say grandma, but granddaughter. But Nancy Dickerson Nancy Dickerson Parton, thank you for tuning in. Lynn Wyatt, thank you for tuning in here in Pasadena, I believe. Also comes to so many shows. Tommy Salcido on the west side. Hey, Tommy. And Bonnie Braun in Arizona. Lawrence Bender in Santa Monica. Sandra Morales Ceballos. I hope I said your name correctly, Sandra. Thank you for tuning in. The great Kaz Murphy, singer-songwriter out there in Desert Hot Springs. Kaz is a wonderful artist, well worth looking into. Brian Cahill. Brian, thank you for tuning in. Ron Hoblitzel, who we know going back to like when the kids were in high school. Ron's here in Covina, hometown, yes. Frank Hill, Tribal Arts out there in, I think in Santa Fe in New Mexico. Frank has an amazing, he's a broker and a seller of Native American arts and other things. Tribal Arts, it's just an amazing store and website. Rebecca Flower, my niece, also in Rialto, Rebecca and her family. Jerry Dickey, who I know from going all the way back to the Penny University. Jerry and I knew each other there. So also, I'm sure Jerry knows Jim and, or knew Jim and Mary, Jim Ringer and Mary McCaslin. Mike Pfister been tuning in. Thank you, Mike. Ray Smith, Cheryl Connett, with Tim. Tim is one half of, or I should say 1/3 since it's Tress, but Tres Pescadores, my record label. It's really two of them, Tim and Brian, and Tim is one half of Tres Pescadores. Rob Hasek, mutual friend of Paul Lax, I believe. Hilarious comics strip that I don't see often enough on Facebook. My friend Chips from that we worked together at the guitar store down here in Covina, the Fret House. Chips, thank you for tuning in. Fred Miller, Mark Gibson, Dan Kincaid, Billy Truitt, great guitar player. Haven't seen you for so many years. Merry Christmas, a mutual friend with Dave Alvin. Thank you all for tuning in so much. I appreciate it. And it's very nearly a year now that, what are we doing here? That I've been doing these shows. I started in March, probably the first Saturday that the whole shutdown started. So I'm going to do another song that's on a new album. This is an older song that I've recorded a couple of times. It was on the first album that I released as a CD. It's called Texas Lawyer. My father-in-law, Johnny, helped me with this song. My friend Wyman helped me write the song, and this song has a Spanish refrain that my father-in-law, Johnny, helped me with this. And I forgot to tell you that on Magdalena, the last song that I sang, my mother-in-law, Jenny, was very generously took the time and helped me with the Spanish refrain on that song. So thank you for that, Jenny. And the one on this song is from Johnny, my father-in-law, Johnny, who's been sadly gone for many years, left us way too soon, way too early, and left a giant size hole in the family that has never and will never be filled. But anyhow, this is called Texas Lawyer, and it's a song of treachery and deceit. Kind of a noir tale in that everybody in this song is guilty of something. So this is called Texas Lawyer. Down south of Matamoros, with the rattlesnakes, the sagebrush, and the sand, where the wind blows like the devil every day, till a man can barely stand. You can't expect too much, because there's not too much out here but dust and bones. And the best that you can hope is that the past you buried leaves you there alone. Avado was a troubled man standing by a storefront in the rain, talking to himself out loud and singing crazy blues about a train. People stayed away from him, you never could be sure what he might do. But I listened hard when he told me about this certain Texas lawyer that he knew. He said this Texas lawyer been around now once or twice since last July, asking certain questions, bringing cigarettes and whiskey as a bribe. He didn't say too much about him, but I knew the man that he was speaking of. And I knew this Texas lawyer was not the kind of man that any man could trust. Recibidas lo quemarse, por tustes engaños. A cunning heart will always get what it deserves. Avado spoke of easy money, he said, for such a simple thing to do. This Texas lawyer only wanted to know some things about a man I knew. He said he had a number he could call and we could meet somewhere tonight. And then he asked me for a cigarette, coughed and spit and asked me for a light. The moon was on the water and the darkness in the shadows hit us well. A voice came from a car parked by a fence. What it said I could not tell. I turned to see a Otto with a gun he held and pointed right at me. And I heard that Texas lawyer laugh as he stepped out of his car into the street. Recibe Oslo came at essay. Por tustes engaños. A cunning heart will always get what it deserves. Yet trouble always finds a man who tries to hide an old unsettled score. Anyway, the smell of fear just seems to bring the buzzards to your door. The knife that I had hidden on my skin spoke like a cold and dark command. They found that Texas lawyer face down in the street, Otto's blood upon his hands. Recibe Oslo came at essay. Por tustes engaños. A cunning heart will always get what it deserves. Recibe Oslo came at essay. Por tustes engaños. A cunning heart will always get what it deserves. Thank you, baby. So that's Texas Lawyer. It's also on the new album. Let me hold that up again. This is available from me, from my website, easy to find, but it's also available anywhere that, you can buy music online. It's available in a few retail stores, but nobody's going into stores, so what does that matter? It's usually at Amoeba, and I hope it is again, but I can't say for sure, in Waterloo down there in Austin. But it's available for download or to buy a CD. I'm going to do an old Bob Dylan song, one of my favorites, kind of a crazy title to this song. The title is It Takes a Lot to Laugh, It Takes a Train to Cry. So you just gave me a look. Is that something, somebody posted something, or is that because of the title? It's a crazy title, and it doesn't say that anywhere in the song. If you've ever taken any sort of songwriting classes, I haven't really, but I've read a lot. When I was, for a while, I read every book I could find about songwriting. I still have a good collection of them. And I've even taught a couple of songwriting sort of seminars or classes at a couple of festivals. I've been asked to do that, which I felt very honored to do. But one of the rules of songwriting is, and you'll notice this in popular songs, the title of the song is in the song, and it's usually in there many times, and you hear it over and over, so that when you get done hearing that song, you know what the title of that song was. And as a songwriter, I pay attention to that, and I try and, I don't follow that as a hard and fast rule, but sometimes a song just becomes what it is. In fact, that's always what happens. And but in this particular song, I kind of picture Bob Dylan just not really giving much of a hoot about it. He just, he was already Bob Dylan. and he could do whatever he wanted. So, and nobody was ever going to tell him anything about songwriting. I wouldn't. Anyhow, this is called It Takes a Lot to Laugh, It Takes a Train to Cry. Forgot how it started, sorry. It's Cattle Blues. Well, I ride on a mail train. I can't buy a thrill. I've been up all night, leaning on the windowsill. Yeah, well, if I die on top of the hill, yeah, well, if I don't make it, you know my baby will. You don't the moon look good, mama, shining down through the trees? Yeah, and don't that brakeman look good, flagging down the double E? And don't the smooth sun look good, going down over the sea? Yeah, but don't my gal look fine when she's coming after me? Well, the wintertime is coming. The windows are filled with frost. I tried to tell everybody, but I could not get across. Well, I wanna be your lover, baby. I don't wanna be your boss. Yeah, don't say I didn't warn you when your train gets lost. Yeah, don't say I didn't warn you when your train gets lost. Bob Dylan, Takes a Lot to Laugh, Takes a Train to Cry. Thank you very much. I'm going to do another song that's on the new album. And I was talking about my mother-in-law, Susie's mom, Jenny. Her name is Juanita. And this song is called Juanita, Why Are You So Mean? And it's sort of very loosely based on my mother, Jenny Juanita. That the story is that when she and Johnny, Susie's dad, were first, when Johnny was first showing interest and trying to date her and trying to get to know her. She was sort of giving him the brush off. At one point, he was asking her name, and she told him her name was Rosie and gave him a completely false number, is the way I heard the story. So she made an effort to kind of give him the brush off and was a little mean to him in that way. But of course, they did get together, have 7 kids. Johnny is gone, like I said, very sadly. But there's many, many grandkids and great-grandkids now. So I wrote this song. This is called Juanita, Why Are You So Mean? And as I said, very kind of loosely based on... And my friend Tony Zamora, who's listening often, he may not be tonight, but helped me with his song and wrote the Spanish sort of lyrics to this, which talk about Toloate, which is a sort of it's like a psychoactive sort of love potion. Anyhow, the Spanish lyrics are maybe my favorite part of this song. So this is called Juanita, Why Are You So Mean? I never saw it coming. I never had a clue. Just minding my own business. That's when I first saw you. I liked your rings and necklace. I liked your long black hair. I almost fell to pieces. You didn't seem to care. Estoy bajo de tu hechizo y no entiendo por qué. Es el poder del Toloache o algo más que no puedo ver. No puede ser. Been upside down and inside out and back and forth and in between. But from the start, you broke my heart. Juanita, why are you so mean? I heard it from your mama. I heard it from your friends. That girl will leave you crying and broken in the end. You spent up all my money. You somehow lost my car. I'm sorry we got started. I'm sorry that it went this far. Juan Ciego puede ser un hombre. Es triste pero es verdad. La próxima vez necesito mi coche, porque ahora no tengo nada. No tengo nada. We've been upside down and inside out and back and forth and in between. But from the start, you broke my heart. Juanita, why are you so mean? We've been upside down and inside out and back and forth and in between. But from the start, you broke my heart. Juanita, why are you so mean? Juanita, why are you so mean? Juanita, why are you so mean? Thank you, baby. Susie gets a chuckle out of that song.
Poor guy.
So, so we've got a new president and vice president this week. After just an insane, this month has just been absolutely insane. Somebody pointed out that Wednesday, January 6th was the insurrection on the Capitol in Washington, D.C. The following Wednesday was the second impeachment of Donald Trump. And the third Wednesday was the inauguration of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So it's been pretty crazy. I'm going to sing a song that I wrote 2 years ago. It was the first song that I wrote. It usually takes a song to get started when I'm going to make a new album. I'll write a song and I'll think, okay, I don't know, it just kind of gets the ball rolling. And this song seemed to be it. And I wrote this probably more than 2 years ago now. But it was after watching just how crazy things were at that time. This is a song called The World's Gone Crazy. The world's gone crazy. The world's gone crazy. The world's gone crazy. You'd better hold on to the ones that you love. You know, I walked through the garden. I walked through the valley. And I walked through the city. Yeah, trouble's all over this world. Yeah, the world's gone crazy. The world's gone crazy. The world's gone crazy. You'd better hold on to the ones that you love. Hold on to your brother. Hold on to your sister. Hold on to your mother. Yeah, everybody better just hold on. Yeah, the world's gone crazy. The world's gone crazy. The world's gone crazy. You'd better hold on to the ones that you love. Better talk to the lawyer. You'd better talk to the preacher. You'd better talk to the governor. Yeah, well, people need some love right now. Yeah, the world's gone crazy. The world's gone crazy. The world's gone crazy. You'd better hold on to the ones that you love. Yeah, the world's gone crazy. The world's gone crazy. The world's gone crazy. You'd better hold on to the ones that you love. You'd better hold on to the ones that you love. You'd better hold on to the ones that you love. So hopefully things are a little less crazy, will be a little less crazy. I made another video for that song with my friend Ron Resnick, and came out wonderful, but we did two versions, actually, kind of. Ron did a wonderful version, but it was really, this was in October that we were going to release it, last October. And at the time, I thought it was just a little too intense. And my friend Paul DeGray, who helped me so much on the album, did the mastering and kind of helped with a lot of pre-production. He did a mix of this song also that is a little bit different, with a lot of really kind of scary sounding sound effects. And the plan was to use that with the video, but at the time I just thought it was just a little too intense. And so I asked Ron to dial it back just a little bit, and he was fine with that, and we did, and we released it with the mix that's on the album. And now I kind of feel like maybe we should have gone the other way. We should have been even more intense and really gone full bore. So anyhow, we've been talking a little bit about possibly releasing both of those versions as kind of a remix of the song and the video. And we'll see what happens with that. But I'll do a very old song here. This is a song by Stephen Foster from the 1800s, from the 19th century. My favorite song by Stephen Foster. It's been hard times for very many people through all of this pandemic. Susie and I have been very, very fortunate. We both continued to work at home and been very busy and been fine, but we've seen the food lines down here at the park and in some other places, and downtown Covina. So it's close to home, and we've contributed where we could. So this is Stephen Foster's song, Hard Times. Let us pause in... Let me get a better chord. Let us pause in life's pleasures and count the many tears. We all sub sorrow with the poor. There's a song that will linger forever in our ears. Whoa, hard times come again no more. It's the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Whoa, hard times come again no more. While we seek mirth and beauty, light and gay. There are frail forms waiting by the door. Though their voices are silent, their pleading seems to say, whoa, hard times come again no more. It's the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Whoa, hard times come again no more. It's the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Whoa, hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Whoa, hard times come again no more. Thank you, baby, and thank you all. I remember I first fell in love with that song when I toured with Dave Alvin, which was about 20 years ago now. It's been quite a while, but at one point, I'm trying to fix some lyrics up here for myself. Excuse me a minute. I get them all fixed up for myself before I come up here, and then Katie comes up here and walks around and kicks them all around on me. But I started, I joined Dave. I've been friends and have been playing musically, things musically with Dave Alvin for, I can't even remember how long. But sometime about in the late 1990s, he approached me and asked me if I would want to be in his band full time. And I said, yes, of course. And so I joined the band and toured with him for 5, 6, 7 years. And went all over the world and all over the States many, many times. But at one point, we jumped on the tour with Bob Dylan and Joni Mitchell, which was kind of amazing and wild. And we did about 12 dates, all big hockey arena, basketball arena sort of places, 20,000 seats. We played Madison Square Garden, and we played the Maple Leaf Auditorium up in Toronto, which was my favorite, very old building. It was an amazing thing to be on, big tour like that, buses and everything. We still were just in the van, but they took all our equipment on the trucks and everything. We didn't even have to handle it. But we would get to the arenas, wherever it was, early in the afternoon, about 4 o'clock, and the routine usually was that, the last band sound checks first, and the first last, because it just makes sense as far as all the settings and everything. So Dylan's band would be up there. Bob Dylan did not do the sound checks. His band would do the sound checks without him. And one of his guitar techs, or his personal guitar tech, would be checking all of his guitars, but he would do the sound check for Bob Dylan. And I never really got his name, but he was a wonderful singer. And that was one of the songs that he would play with the band. Just a wonderful version, an amazing version of Stephen Foster's Hard Times. So I had heard the song before that, but that's where I started to really fall in love with it. And they were such an amazing band. It was Larry Campbell on guitar, Bucky Baxter on steel guitar, David Kemper, I think, was the drummer, and Tony Garnier who's a longtime bass player, I believe is still with him. I don't think any of the rest of those guys are with him, but Tony has been playing bass with Bob Dylan since, I don't know, he'd been already doing it for 10 or 15 years at that time, so long, long time. And Joni Mitchell's band was just as amazing, so it was quite a wonderful experience. So the last couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I've been singing Woody Guthrie's This Land Is Your Land. So I'm going to sing it again this week. I don't think we're done with it yet. I think it's just a very reaffirming thing with all of this turmoil that we're going through. We've got a new administration. We've got a new president and a new vice president that I'm very happy about. Kamala Harris was actually my first choice in the presidential races. I was very excited when she first introduced herself. I thought that was one of the best introductions to a candidacy when she did that up in Oakland that I've ever seen. I thought it was inspiring, well put together, and her whole message. So I was disappointed when she dropped out of the race, but I remember telling Susie at the time, I thought, not that it was suspicious, but I just kind of wondered what was going on. And I just kind of expected from that time on that I always knew that she would be the strongest candidate for vice president for Joe Biden if he got the nomination. So I knew she was his best choice, and I was glad that he picked her. So we're going to sing I say we because I hope you'll all sing along. Woody Guthrie's This Land Is Your Land. Towards the end, we'll sing the Canadian chorus, which is easy to look up, and it's just a little bit different words. I learned that from my friend Linda McRae. Please sing along. As I said before, this song deserves to be the national anthem and was included in the inauguration ceremony. Jennifer, as Susie said, J-Lo was listening, but Jennifer Lopez did a beautiful version. I don't think I'm going to keep up with her fashion-wise, but that was a pretty spectacular-looking outfit, but understated enough for inauguration. So sing along if you can. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. I've roamed and rambled and followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts. And all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land was your land. This land was my land. This California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. When the sun came shining, the choir was strolling, the wheat fields waving, the dust clouds rolling, the fog was lifting, and a voice was chanting. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, This land was made for you and me. As I went walking, I saw a sign there, and on the sign it said, no trespassing. But on the other side, it didn't say nothing. That side was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. In the shadow of the steeple, I saw my people. By the relief office, I seen my people. As they stood there hungry, I stood there asking, is this land made for you and me? This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. Last verse. Nobody living can ever stop me. Now I go walking that freedom highway. Nobody living can ever make me turn back. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. Last time, Canadian chorus. This land is your land, this land is my land. From Bonavista Vista to Vancouver Island, from the Arctic Circle to the Great Lake waters, this land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Thank you very much. I'm going to do one more song here. I've been doing this song for the last few weeks. A lot of people like this, and it's a very spiritual and uplifting song to me. It's called The Fisherman's Blues, and I did write down, it's a song by the Waterboys, by a fella by the name of Mike Scott, and the fiddle player at that time was named Steve Wickham, and he gets a co-write on this also, and I think he still plays fiddle in the band as far as I know. He plays kind of an epic sort of part in this song, very signature sort of fiddle line that you'll just have to imagine. But this goes out to all my friends from Roots on the Rails, all of the Train Tribe. I got to travel all over the western part of the United States and even up to Alaska, all the way to the Midwest, across the Mississippi, New Orleans, all over, and they've done trips all over the East Coast and up to Canada for a number of years. Just wild, amazing trips, a wild, amazing group of people. Miss you all. Hope to see each other and all of us together again soon, everybody. But tune in again next week. I'll be here again, and the following week, and after that I'll take a break, and then I'll come back for the third. I'll play the first Saturday and the third Saturday in February, provided there isn't some other insane. If things get bad again, I will be here on a regular basis. But I'm hoping not. I'm hoping for the best. So this is The Fisherman's Blues. Well, I wish I was a fisherman, tumbling on the sea, far away from dry land and its bitter memories, casting out my sweet line with abandonment and love. No ceilings bearing down on me, just the starry skies above, with a light in my head and you in my arms. Whoa. Well, I wish I was a brakeman on a hurtling fever train, crashing headlong into the hard land like a cannon in the rain, with the beating of the sleepers and the burning of the coal, watching the towns flying by me in a night that's full of soul, with a light in my head and you in my arms. Whoa. I know I will be loosened from the bonds that hold me fast, and the chains all hung around me will all fall away at last. And on that fine and fateful day, I will take me in my hands, and I will ride upon that train, and I will be that fisherman with a light in my head and you in my arms. Whoa. With a light in my head and you in my arms. Whoa. With a light in my head and you in my arms. Whoa. Thank you very much. Tune in again next week. I will see you all again then, and then the week after, like I said. And be careful. Please be careful. Stay safe. This thing is still very, very dangerous. Love you all, and good night. Thank you very much.